All right, joining me once again here on the Matthew Filipowicz Show is my good friend Kevin Gosztola. Kevin is a journalist who writes the Dissenter blog at Fire Dog Lake, which you can find at dissenter.firedoglake.com. You can also follow him on Twitter at kgosztola. Kevin, thank you so much for being on the show again.
Thank you.
All right, so Kevin, about a week and a half ago, Jeremy Hammond was sentenced. If people are not familiar with Jeremy, tell them, who is Jeremy, what was he arrested for, and how long might he spend in prison?
Jeremy Hammond is he's a Chicago-based, or was a Chicago-based activist, and he became involved in a loosely connected collective, loosely connected to Anonymous, and that was called LulzSec. And in this collective, they engaged in, I'll call it hacktivism, because it wasn't straight up hacking. They weren't going in intending to do damage, at least that's what he has claimed. And then these hack attacks were on these hacktivism and initiatives that they were taken against. One of them was Stratfor, which is a private intelligence firm, or was until it was destroyed and ruined by the operation. There's a lot of complex details to this, but basics first is that Jeremy Hammond was sentenced to 10 years in prison after pleading guilty to a violation of the Computer Fraud and Abuse Act, which, for those of your listeners who have followed some of the issues around this piece, this criminal statute, they may remember that Aaron Swartz, the late internet activist, was being prosecuted under this and ended up committing suicide because of the way that the U.S. attorney was going after him under this law. It's got a lot of breadth to it, and there's ways to punish people severely. And so anyways, he decided to plead guilty. The case did not go to trial. And there are a lot of other aspects that should be considered with it. First, the FBI operation involved. He was actually involved in an operation when he was hacking Stratfor, or going after Stratfor to pull out files. He did not know at the time, but there was a person involved in the hacktivism there, Sabu, who was actually working for the FBI. So there are a lot of different aspects to this, and he's going to be in jail for 10 years and be serving time in a prison in Chicago.
So 10 years, let's delve in. What exactly did he do? And I think most of us would think that that's a long time to be spending in prison for what he actually did. What exactly did he do that supposedly warrants this ridiculous sentence?
Well, first, I'll just tell you that he has already been in prison for 18 months before getting this sentence. So
yeah,
I think that's time served there. But if it's not, if this is an addition, that just tells you something also. So he did do some time already, and his lawyers had pushed for time served and said, he's already been in jail for 18 or so months. That's enough for what he did. And what he did was he had been going into websites of people he was politically opposed to, things that he was in on the Arizona police website. He was in a web in the Stratfor Intelligence, which is this private firm that, through the release of files that ended up being published by WikiLeaks, we found that this is a firm that had taken it upon itself to create a network of amateur spies who basically, the people at the top of this organization are some of the most unrefined characters you'll meet in the world of intelligence, I think. They're a bunch of degenerates, truly, when you read some of the emails that went back and forth between them. And They have this really perverse grasp on what they think the United States should be doing in the world. And they also were apparently helping other corporations, like Walmart, and they were helping Union Carbide in the Dow chemical plant in Bhopal, India. This was one of the more critical things that Jeremy uncovered, was that Stratfor was helping this corporation that is in a lot of trouble because of its pollution and the killing of people in India. They were spying on Bhopal activists that have been trying to hold Dow Chemical accountable in India, and doing this on behalf of the corporation. There was Coca-Cola having it spy on PETA activists, and so this is the nature of the organization. It raises a lot of questions about whether this is okay, that you can outsource spying to a private intelligence firm, that corporations can do this. And so Jeremy's going to jail for 10 years. If we look at this proportionally, if we say, hey, he needs to be punished, we look proportionally what would have been reasonable for a punishment. Over in Europe, he had two others who were involved in the hacking into Stratfor that are going to get much less of a sentence. They're going to get between max 20 months in prison. The two of them were sentenced. So there's quite a disparity between what people get in Europe and what people get in the United States for this sort of a crime.